Wednesday, and that means it is House Tours Day. And this week is Exiles' turn, since the week before we did Dominion. And we've got quite a few lined up for you today. I have 5 homes on the list, so hopefully we'll get to all of them. I'm not going to try and speed through them. We are going to, walk through as usual, but want to make sure that we catch them all if we can. Just one quick announcement I'd like to make. In a couple of months, it's down the road, so it's not anytime soon, but in a couple of months, we're going to be celebrating our 50th house tours video. We're kind of in the high 30s right now, so that can tell you how long in advance I'm mentioning this. But and I'm kind of working. I've got plans in the works for making it kind of a special celebration for our 50th. And what I'm thinking is, while I do plan on maybe making a small announcement, like maybe the month before, I just kind of want to give my viewers a heads up that the plan is based on the homes that we visited over the past, well, almost a year, because I think the 50th episode would land actually like a couple of weeks before like our 1-year anniversary from when I first started streaming. Anyway, what I'd like to do is do like a recap of some of our favorites over the last year. It'll have to be homes that are, still in existence, of course, but if there's a favorite from the past year that you'd like to revisit, I think I'm going to be picking the top 5 out of all the nominations. So just kind of a heads up to kind of let you guys that have been watching these episodes kind of give some thought as to which ones you'd like to see again. It's just kind of a memory kind of thing. Hey Bones, good morning. Glad you could join us. And we're going to be doing some giveaways, for my viewers. I'm not going to give any details at the moment as to what all that will entail, but I'm hoping to make it a really big special occasion, depending on like how many viewers I actually have going on at the time, and the amount of goodies I plan to give out. It may be more like a week long or something. I just do some giveaways throughout the week or something. I don't know. We'll see more of that as we get closer to that time. But I just wanted to kind of give a mention that there is something in the works, a special kind of celebration for our 50th House Tours episode. I've done a lot more streams than 50 because I've, not counting the last like maybe month or so, I've been streaming just about every weekday. But so there's lots more videos than 50, but I thought it was kind of special because I think the house tours are one of the more favorite bits that we do, and it is pretty regular that we do that every week. So I just kind of wanted to, make something special of it. Anyway, so let's get started on this week's house tours. Today we're starting off in the plot named Solace. It is Tasselhoff Burfoot's plot. And while I was checking it out the other day, just to kind of make sure I was catching everything, I happened to run into the owner of the plot, and of course they were excited about the prospect of us touring it, but they dropped a little information about the inspiration behind the plot. Apparently there is a book series called Dragonlance, and there is actually a village in the book series called Solace, and I guess that's where they got the name for the plot. I don't know if it's actually reminiscent of the village or anything. I just think it was something kind of inspired, that inspired them to build this. So whether it's actually close to the book or anything, any details, I couldn't tell you because I've never even heard of the book series, but there you go. So this is kind of, I think I categorized it as Orin-esque, obviously because it's lots of jungly, and there's, you'll notice why I say that as we get into it. There isn't a hatch house or prefab home. Everything is just as you see it. It's just a custom built all the way. Because that was one of the things that I was snooping around for, trying to make sure I didn't miss it, because I could kind of see where it should be, but there was like this big tree on top of it, and I wasn't sure if there was like some secret way to get in that I was just missing, because I am known for missing it. And but Tasselhoff assured me that there is no hidden little thing like that. Now there's lots of little treats as we go through here that you'll notice. They put out like this little camp just here close to the entrance. But other than that, it's what you see is what you get. So they've used a lot of overgrowth. There's lots of these, I don't know, swampy tree. I don't know the name of them. It's like mossy something or other. To kind of really fill in this place so it's nice and jungly. You got this really big bench thing going on. And of course they have a stone path, which I always love when you have a very kind of freestyle plot. It helps to kind of guide your visitors around. Oh, well, is that true, Bones? Well, I've never even heard of it. What kind of rock am I living under? Bones says it's the book series that really got them into role playing, and that Tasselhoff is a character from the series. So, see, that tells you how much I know. It didn't even ring a bell because I have no idea what that is. But anyway, what I was going to say was paths and like lighting the way with candles or other kinds of features like this lamppost is a good way to help guide your guests around your plot. It doesn't mean that they're restricted to that, but for those of us that don't want to get lost or want to make sure we see all of the little tidbits, that's a good way to make sure we visit them all. So right here you have a little water scene. It seems kind of small for a little boat kind of thing going on here, but it's not quite as romantic as I was anticipating, because it's got all these like empty beer bottles and beer cans and everything, but it's one approach. Here you have a little area for, I guess, a little romantic setting or something. Oh gosh. We're going to walk the outer part and then we'll go more towards the inner later. You'll see there's this giant mossy tree in the center. That's where normally I would look for the bunker house, but according to Tasselhoff, there is not one available. So if you come to this spot and you're looking for it, rest assured you're not missing it. It is just not there. So I would imagine it's just the like bricks and construction little site there. But I really like how they've, again, I envy those that can do the landscaping. They go from little details like all of the plants and flowers to just adding in elements that, you know, one might not normally think of. They managed to squeeze in a few of the fab kits, of course. That's I think it's the party one or festival one or something. I kind of feel like I'm off the beaten path here, but like here's a little garden that they made. So some shrooms and different plants. Maybe it's ones that they weren't sure to where to put, but they made it into a little garden thing. Is that something, or is that, oh, it's supposed to go through there? See, I never can tell. Well, that's one way to do it. Yeah, well, a Granok would probably be more accurate for this game, being on that boat with the beer. So here we have a little platformed area. Lots of different little sections to it. This one's kind of like a lounge area. They've got some games, lots of cushions. Um, Even has some party balloons. So I would assume this is a good gathering for like a bunch that wants to hang out and enjoy the nice scenery. As opposed to over here where it's more kind of like a little seating. Maybe you just talk, read, recite some poetry, something like that. See. Notice they're using lots of different combinations of items. There's decking pieces, decking stairs, all the railings for that. Then they've got some of the new rope bridges and the new boardwalk pieces as well, in combo with lots of the pillars and things. It's kind of mishmashed together, which is kind of, you know, a traditional exile kind of thing, but it blends well together. Um, Here's a little snack area where they've got some cheese and wine and bananas. And if we go this way, have another little vista type area. I like how they've built these around the trees. It's not even actually touching the tree. It's just kind of, it's supported, you know, through here, but it's looks natural as far as, you know, not too intrusive to what's already there. Okay, it looks like we can go up this way. I guess I'm supposed to jump on the green stuff. There we go. Here's another one. Notice they've even made the roof out of the boardwalk pieces. So this one's looks like a little office space, a little open area office space. And we can go on this way. Again, they've really made lots of use of the new bridges and decking and the boardwalks. All of the combination here that you see, different little bits. Here we go off to a little ball building kind of floating up here. Again, it looks like another office space. I guess it's a little house because it's got a bedroom and everything. Showing off their plushie collection. I love how folks are coming up with interesting ways to make little buildings. We've seen other variations of these, like little dome homes, but it seems like they always come up with different ways to do it than the next person. So I like watching out for that kind of thing. Yeah, see, there's that big, massive tree in the center where normally I think you would, that's where the prefab home would be, or hatch house if that's the one you picked. So here's like a little stopover. Maybe you get too tired walking around all these things, you got to take a break there. That would be me. Wow, I'm gonna get lost on this place because there's so many little tidbits. Notice they've really gone out of the way to kind of blend in all of this by, you know, really covering it with greenery, so it doesn't look too fresh and new. It looks overgrown. I like that. So here's a little bar. Again, they're using the domes and the hollow domes, but they did a little different. So it looks like almost like a little amphitheater kind of thing for their little bar. Goes. On this side, we have a similar kind of setup, but it's more like a little dining area. It's really hard to get a good shot of all of this because when you get your camera out the trees and stuff, you can see it just keeps going up and up. Lots of little bits here and there. So we come to this one, and wow, those stilts. I'm going to end up falling and hurting myself. So here's like a little garden terrace kind of thing, and then you go up here. Notice they're kind of giving you clues that there's still some more to see up here. And I end up falling. I'm so nervous. Here's a giant little dome, and it looks to be being used as someone's home, because here's like a kitchen, doing their laundry right next to the kitchen. I don't know, maybe this is their version of kind of like a separated, it's like one big home and it's just separated in different sections. That would be one way. Ooh, don't fall, don't fall. Is there more? Gosh. I don't know, maybe this is where they stopped working. I don't want to jump out. I'm sure if I tried to jump onto that root or anything, it would just not end well. So I'm going to say that they probably are planning to continue that on upward. Let's work our way back down. I'm sure there's some bits I missed on that one side, so I can find that. You're wondering what these are, these little round step kind of things. I believe it's the back of one of the Orin windows. Okay, back down this way. Oops, not that way. Let's see, we went to the bar. Just don't want to miss anything. I think we've been onto that. Let's go down this way. Yeah, we haven't been here. This is another little seating area. Again, lots of the overgrowth, lots of use of the boardwalk pieces, and just added little details. The bushes, the little pillar here. Look at all the little growth there and everything. And then here's I love this one. This is probably one of my favorite little dome homes. It's got like a bushy roof, and it almost looks like a coconut, made out of a coconut or something. And this is like a little smoking house kind of thing. Okay, back down. Let's see. We went this way with the little fab kit. We went up on those. Making sure I'm not missing anything. That was one of the reasons why I came by the other day and was looking for like hidden places that I might have missed. Like a little garden. Not sure I'm supposed to go this way, but I'm gonna go that way anyway. Yeah, it did. It kind of looked like a head as well. You can see they use those mossy trees quite a bit. It really fills it in. I'm gonna find I can't get through here or something. I think this is back at the start. Yeah, this little camp. Let's go this way and make sure I didn't miss anything. That's the... I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? I think it's here. We didn't go up here, right? No, that's where we did come from. Because that's with the little head thing. Okay, so I guess we've seen it kind of in a backwards way. I think I went at it a little backwards to where most people probably would find it. But you can see there's a lot of things going on. For those that are looking for inspiration for an Orin kind of themed plot, excuse me, this kind of plot is ideal because often, like with like a tree kind of connection stuff, a lot of people are a little unsure of how to work that nicely. And this is a good example of how to use those rope bridges and everything and other things in combination to get that to smoothly transition between one tree to the other. Okay, so our next house is, let me get this right here. Whoops. I can't spell. Mad Tomigan Churchill. This is a Star Wars plot theme. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same person that did the Battle of Hoth that we toured not long ago. But this one is Tatooine. And I'm sure there's going to be those of you that have seen the film that covers this particular area will recognize a lot of the bits. I will probably get the names of the things wrong, so pardon me for messing it up. But it does look a little empty, but naturally it's, you know, the desert area, so it kind of makes sense to leave a lot of it open. But they've, you know, you can see that they've made like some of the buildings and things to kind of make it interesting. So over here we have, I don't know, it's that big gapy thing in the desert, the thing that eats for like, I don't know, 1,000 years or something. I don't remember what it's called. A sarlacc or something, or is that a different creature? I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but here's one of those little tippy things. I'm sure it's got a special name. I really don't know, but it's I guess it's the scene where they're having Skywalker come off and getting ready to dump him into the little wormy thing. It's pretty disgusting what they used for that. It looks like the combination of those grass flower things kind of reminds you of, you know, Little Shop of Horrors, and then that mouth sore thing that we saw in the preview the other day when we were looking at the shopper. Is that what this is? A sand crawler? I have no idea what that is. It's nicely done though. It's all mostly just different types of hoverboard. Yeah, Hungry Nectar Bloom, that's it. See, Bones, that's why I have you here. Kind of correct me on the stuff that I'm forgetting the names. But this is mostly hover park pieces. There's like just the floors, and then some of these are the edge pieces. I don't know all the names to those because there's like over 90 of those things, so I can't keep track of them all. But you can just see different pieces that they've chosen to get the shape that they were going for. And then, of course, for the part up here, it's 2 pillows for the little, I guess that's the seating area. And metal grate shelves for the railing there. All right, have fun at your meeting. That's Bones for you. Playing while working. Anyway, that's the nice little sand mouth thing. I don't know what it's called. And then, of course, they're using one of the newer fab kits that we have, which is the Geyser fab kit. I think there's actually an achievement if you can kind of bounce on them consecutively or for an X amount of time, you get a little achievement for that. In here, underneath these bones, which is a combination of things really, it's I think it's the falcon perch for this part of the bone, and then this is just one of the skull heads, the mounted skull heads that you get. And so beneath that is, of course, the uh, bunker house. Now, this will make more sense when we go visit the other part, but this is that creature that's beneath Jabba the Hutt's little place where he dumps Skywalker into it and they have to fight, and that's this creature. You can see he's mostly made up of uh, Exile building blocks, which is like domes and cylinders and things for like his fingers. His claws are, again, one of those skull heads has like tusks or something, and they're being used as the claws. I think the falcon fence posts is what's being used as the claws on his feet. And of course, he's got a hold of one of the newer corpse decor, which is kind of nasty. You can see several of those strewn about here. For his teeth and stuff, I think it's a combination of fences for like the little horns here. That's the falcon fences. And I think these are some of those, like it looks like a urinal to me, like a bony urinal thing. It's I can't remember the name of it, but it's I think it's falcon as well, like a basin or something. It's one of those being used for all these like little bits and things to make his jaw. I'm not sure what they're using for the eye. I suspect it's the bottoms of vent tanks for the black for his eyes and nose. But yeah, it's really nicely done. Here for the gate, it's just flat metal tables for the doors, and then of course stones. The sandstone rocks are lining it around. For the little trap door above, it's just those metal grate shelves again, the same things that they were using for the railing on the little ship above. They're just really large and using them there. For these bones here, those are the, I think it's the corpse bloom. It's actually like a piece of bone and it's got little orange flowers on it. And they've just sunk in most of it. You see it, yeah, there's one of the orange flowers there sticking out. They've just turned them so that most of them are kind of hidden, so it looks like just a lot of bones. Really cleverly done. I like that kind of stuff. So if we go up top, you can see most of the landscaping is again with those sandstone rocks, the tiered sandstone, I believe. Here, I suspect they're using, yeah, the snowy hills. It's just the bottom side. They behave just like the massive umbrella trees, but they're cheaper because you can get them directly from the housing vendor for like, I don't know, 50 silver or something like that, maybe a few gold, but even still, compared to like, you know, several plat or a massive umbrella tree, you can get the snowy hills really cheap. Plus, I think in most respects, they work better than the massive umbrella tree because the massive umbrella tree, when you turn it upside, you still got the roots and stuff to contend with. You'll have this big brown root shooting up somewhere, and these don't have that. The only thing is, for those that want to cover their teleporter pad over here in the corner, I think if you want to use the snowy hill, you have to make it super large. And if it doesn't really fit, see, I don't think it would fit in this kind of situation here nicely. The massive umbrella tree works better in that respect. But there are other pieces that work there as well too, like some of the stones. I know for a fact the bottoms of some of the Shades Eve lamps work, that kind of stuff. So just experiment. Mostly it's things that are considered hollow. And if you can make them big enough and position them just right, you can get them to sit there, and it works a lot better. The only thing you have to contend with is when you first zone in, your character might be sunk into its head or something, depending on how you have it set up. So it might look a little weird, but you just jump out of it, and there you go. So yeah, this is probably all raised snowy hills to get this contour, this extra height to the ground here. Yet it keeps the same look as what's down below. So here's the entrance to Jabba the Hutt's little place, because there's the little peeping eye thing. But before we go in, I'm just going to go around the back, and we're going to take a look at the outside. So here you see the building. The toppers are just those big bowls. Welcome back, Bones. The oversized bowls. Some of them turn one way and others topping it the other way. The walls are just granite walls, and I'm not sure what's being used for the little window bits. I want to say it's just more walls kind of sized down differently to give it a little different texture. And of course the metal dividers for the doors, the faux doors here. Domes for the small building here. As far as I know, these parts you don't go inside, but I'm going to go all the way around just to double check. Because I'm pretty sure it's all faux here. Yeah. Oh, next trying to crack. So over here we have, again, I don't know what this thing's called. I know it's a special kind of ship. I think it's what, Boba Fett's thing that they end up stuffing the frozen Solo in, and that's his little ship. I like there's like, the ship itself is mostly hover part pieces. A few curved walls, some Chua pillars, hammers for the little, I guess those are guns on the ship itself. Looks like the metal briefcase for the little bit here. On the interior, it's some of those lever control kind of things, a Dominion chair, and then of course the magnetized containers to give all that nice flashy color stuff. And of course they've arranged the curved glass to kind of make this little visible hatch there. Yeah, I really like it. It turned out really nice. Again, it's kind of like working with Legos. I look at those pieces and I'm thinking, how in the world did they even, imagine that would work right? There's a ship hand locker for the little, I guess that's where the door is, where they go in. But I'm really horrible at mechanical stuff, but yeah, that wouldn't have been something I could put together. See if I can get a good shot of the buildings here. I don't remember what it looked like in the movie. I'm really bad. I've seen it, I just don't remember it really well. But yeah, so this is the entrance, and you get past the little spy eyeball, the spy eye, and I don't know who that's supposed to be, but they're working on whatever that is. And you go through and into Jabba the Hutt's lair, and there he is in all his wormy glory. But first we're going to look around, just kind of get a feel for how they built this. Again, it's a lot of hover part pieces for the curved, the archways. I guess instead of the band, they just decided to put in the DJ. And here's Han Solo and his carbonite. I thought that was a pretty clever way of approaching that. It looks like some of the metal magnetized containers, and then it's got a couple of posters sandwiched together to make that, give it that kind of black carbony looking, and then just put a naked uh, mannequin in there. It works really well. Because because of the theme, you kind of get, okay, that's what that is. Of course, this is supposed to mirror the inside of the hatch house where the monster thing is. I don't know, maybe that's the Sarlacc. Something's a Sarlacc here. I remember them talking about the name, but this would be the little trap door that, Skywalker falls down into. Here we have Jabba's little platform, and he's even got Princess Leia in her skivvies. But look at the worm guy. He's made out of green pillows. He's sitting on 2 of pillows. For his eyes, I suspect, since it's kind of brightly lit up, I suspect those are the orange sconce lights. And then it looks like, if I can get right in his face here. Yeah, it looks like some more of the bottoms of the vent tanks. But yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, you know what it is. I think it's a clever done, clever way of creating a wormy Jabba. I don't know what this. I don't know. Is that supposed to be Chewie, the Yeti? But I don't know. Anyway, I thought this was a pretty fun little deal. There's probably lots more that they would like to add. I really have no idea how far along they are in their decor count. I suspect there's probably lots of room for added details, but I couldn't resist showing it even if they're not completely done with it. So that is Mad Tommy Gun Churchill's Plot Tatooine. So the next one is, let's make sure it works before I announce it. Celestine Starborn's Plot. This one I found a little while back, and I thought this was pretty clever. In fact, I had actually thought about doing something similar to this, and I'm glad I didn't, because they've done an outstanding job, in my opinion. This is called the Rock Solid Tavern. It's basically an underground, in the caves kind of setup, and you'll see what I mean by the execution here. I don't know exactly what pieces they're using for the stones. It's not the traditional sandstone stuff. It's not the obsidian stones. It's something else. I want to say it's one of the plants, and they're just cleverly kind of mushed it in, but I really don't know what this is, what bits they're using. But here you have, I think, let me try and remember what this was. I think this is supposed to be the restroom area, because there's like a water trough here for the sink, and then you come off back here. I really don't know what this is supposed to be. It could be an area that they've just not finished yet. But it reminded me of like a bathroom. Very sparse bathroom. Okay, so here's like the main part. Ah, okay. You see what it is? Probably, it looks like bits of this. And I think that's the purple rock arch. And because of the lighting that they've used here, it just looks really different. So I like that. It's a good way of changing up something, because I didn't even recognize it, what it is. It almost looks like, I don't know what it looks like. But yeah, it looks like this, bits of the purple rock arch. But it doesn't even look purple anymore. It looks green and yucky brown. But anyway, here's some little tables outside. So I guess it's like a patio area in front of the bar. They've got a little water area here with the fish poking up, and that's where the mailbox is. And then you go into the bar, a little tavern area. Very nicely done as far as incorporating lots of stone. You do have the obsidian stones here along as the trim. You've got the granite chairs for the seating. Again, more of the obsidian, and then the purple arches for the tables. These, I'm not sure what those are. That's the bottom of one of those, probably the little spiky desert plants. I think that's what that looks like. It could be something else, but I like how they've found other types of materials, textures for their stonework. So here you have like a little bit more private booth. I like how they've added little speakers here and there so that, you know, wherever you might be sitting, you'll hear the music and stuff. Here's the bar. Again, lots of stone. I mean, they've stuck with their theme really nicely. Even the tables here with their little lamps on them. Excuse me. Here's the bar. Like for drinks and stuff, they just set it in here. Looks like a staircase landing for the backing, and then just 2x4s for the shelves. I couldn't tell you exactly what lighting this is that they're using here. I don't play much with the lighting too often. It's usually the themes I use don't normally work well for that. Again, just those purple rock arches being used very extensively. Like a stack of mugs. Here's the kitchen. Again, the kitchen cabinetry, it looks like staircase landings, Exile floors, and hover park floors for the countertop. Staircase landings for all the little individual trays. For the handles, it's the dynamite detonator thing. It looks like a little, you know, push it down with the little bar. That's what that is. The sink looks like a variety of probably files, the bottom of files. For the cabinets, they've just used the granite double doors. Really nice way of making it functional if you want to be able to do that. So a rough tower in that one. I believe that's a airtight container for the little area there. Same way with these here. We assume those are refrigerated sections of some sort. Here's the cooking area where they got the grill going on. Little plant area for all their herbs and things that they're going to be using for their dishes. I guess this is supposed to be like, maybe it's their deep fryer or a toaster of some sort. I think these are supposed to be like salt and pepper shakers. And those are just like, I think they're chimney tops that are shrunk down. And of course the cutting board is an Exile wall. Really nice little setup. I like how the theme is carried throughout. Here's the little Pier tap. They've got two taps, I think, stuck together to make it look like one big thing, and it's even got a little drain built in for that. So in here, this would be the bathroom. I like the little seating toilet area. You've got the little lid. That's just the bottom of a feeding trough. It could be one that's filled, but more than likely it's the empty one because that one comes directly from the housing vendor and is cheap. And then the sink is a combination of a bowl and some hover part pieces to make the base. This is the control panel, and then these knobs are the tops of one of the bottles. And the mirror is just the back of a travel poster. Guess that's where it's had a little bit of a cave-in. I imagine these are supposed to be where people can come and rent rooms. I don't know if you're supposed to go in there. So these will probably be filled out later. You know, it could be that they run out of decor space. There's a lot of stuff going on. But I imagine it's meant to be like rentable rooms, or it could be something, you know, maybe they're gonna make some private rooms for VIP guests or something like that. I'm kind of lost here as to how I got to this part. Oh no. See, how did I am so lost. That is so bad. Okay, let me close this door. Not there. I don't know how I got there. Okay, so okay, we're back. And a lot of, that's the bathroom. This is back into the main bar. Okay, we're back on track. So I really like the concept of it, and of course the lighting really helps to kind of make it look different than everybody else's. That's one of my favorite things about it. Like I said, I had actually thought about doing something similar recently, and I opted against it, and I'm glad because this turned out really nice. So here's a strange little, I don't know, maybe it's the WildStar room where you come and put your pet WildStar and he grazes the grass. There's a little pool of water, like a ventilation system there. You can see they've probably got a lot more things that they're going to add. I didn't find, to my knowledge, I might stumble on it just roaming around here, but I don't remember finding a prefab home such as a bunker house or anything. You see, there's a lot of space here, but look how lovely. There's just all kinds of texture and different. It doesn't look too same. Oh, here's a little walkway up above. Here's like a little outcropping. Oh, they blocked it off with glass. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, there's probably bits that they're going to be adding, and we may end up coming back here later on. But it's been several weeks since I've seen this place, and it doesn't look much different than what I remember. So it could be that the builder is taking a break. If it's something, you know, that they're adding specific and maybe it's an expensive or hard to obtain item, sometimes it just takes a long time to collect all of the pieces that you want. maybe they are relying on purchasing a lot of it, so then they have to, you know, work up. I'm not sure what all of these things are supposed to be. That's kind of weird. I know what those are. It's like the back end of the back side of the boardwalk pieces, but I don't know what those are from. What, you know, what they're doing on the other side. Yeah, it's clearly a very versatile item, and it's one of the few that, you know, where the little gap is, there's no collision. The bigger you make it, so you can walk right through it, and that makes it really good for cave type features. So yeah, if you're looking for something along that, definitely pick up on that. I can't remember how you obtain those. If those were from a challenge, it could be just a vendor item now. Kind of like with the gear trophies and things. Those used to be only obtainable through challenges, but now there's an actual, you know, you mostly can get them from vendors. And most of them aren't bind on pickup. Some of the stuff that was already on the vendor, like say, for example, the carrot plushie, that's still bind on pickup. But yeah, definitely a good item for that. You know, some of the other stuff like the obsidian stones and a lot of the new stones we got, like the gray ones and the sandstone, are nice too. The only thing I don't like about the sandstone and the gray stone version is that while they're big and they're sort of solid, camera wise they're not. The camera goes right through them, and that kind of ruins the whole enclosed cavey type feel that you might be going for if you're using them for a big area like this. Whereas opposed to, you know, my camera, it moves back, it you know, moves forward and stuff because it treats these walls as solid. But the gray tiered stone and the sandstone, they don't work that way. That's the only thing I don't like about them when you use them big. Anyway, so number 4. Is brightness Jasna. Sorry for the little pause there, as someone was asking something, so I needed to answer. So this one is a little bit out of the ordinary. Anyway, this one is a little bit different. When I first came here, I was like, I'm not sure about this, because I kind of stumbled on it when they were first working on it. So it was still pretty sparse of stuff. But I waited patiently and have been rewarded. They've been really good about sticking with their theme. You can see there's these pillars. If you want to know how to make these little fancy little scalloped pillars, basically it's just regular pillars that have been turned a little bit to give that extra little extra little thickness to it, to give it that roundness. And they've even added the extra detail of adding that chain down there to be hanging off, which is interesting. But so you have this nice pillared entrance. I don't know what's being used as the base here. I imagine it's one of those Elden stair kind of platform things. Yes, it is bones. Turning your plot into an inside kind of thing is definitely a lot of work. really anytime you're going to be doing any kind of landscaping, and I include cave structures as part of the landscaping, that's going to take a lot of materials. If you keep it, especially if you're going to go plot wide, if you kind of purposefully cut off like 2/3 of your plot and just keep it more condensed, it might be easier on you. And then if you keep the main focus of it into like maybe the bunker house or something, that work a little differently. But if you're going plot wide, that can take a lot. That's one of the reasons why folks are really anxious to see if Carbine decides to expand the decor place limits again. It would be really helpful to a lot of us that do a lot of custom building, because in order to build a custom house, even the house itself can take up to 1,000 pieces. That doesn't leave very much for all the detail that you want to do for everything else. So notice some of the pillars have been toppled. The plot itself is called the Pure Lake, but I gathered it was kind of like a leftover, like a ruins almost of Elden things. So you're going to see a lot of stuff overgrown with plants, toppled, sunk into the sand, that kind of thing. And while it seems kind of barren and not totally complete, like full of jungle and everything, we've come across a few Elden type of plots where they're just so compact and full. This one's more open, and there's I like it both ways. This one has a cleaner feel. I think this is one of the new steps. I don't know the name of it. It's like something stairs. But look at the little benches here that they made out of the Exonite. It's just a couple of walls and then 3 of the pillar things. I like that. Kind of a fun way of making like a little Elden Park kind of thing. And it's not overly done. A lot of times people will get into that Elden stuff and they will just like burn your eyes with it. This is, it's bright, but it's not overwhelming because it's just a small part of the thing. So I appreciate that. All right, Bones, I'll note that name down. I'll have a look later. Throat's getting all scratchy again. Just checking to see if there's any little nooks and crannies I'm missing out here. Again, lots of overgrowth, little bits here and there, like the ferns. Here's a little statue bit, or here's one of the, I think it's one of the new pieces actually. It's the temple interface from the latest little event that we had. I think it was the Sim Chase event. I didn't even get into it at all, so I didn't get any of the new stuff. I think I got a stair and maybe one other thing, but I got that off of the auction house. But lots of little Elden bits. Notice they've really done a good job of making it look overgrown and abandoned, which is nice. Again, it's not overly done. It's just accents mostly. Different kinds of trees. These little white, if you're wondering what those are, that's the glowing space wheat. They just have the blue bits sunk down, so it's only the white showing through. So it looks more Elden-y because of how it matches the other Elden type of plants. So here's a little waterfall river running through, which feeds the pool in the middle. which we'll get to here shortly. I mean, look here, they've even got these little hugels here, little bits of grass and the weeping cups. Just different little bits. If you're wondering what these nice leafy green plants are, these are some of the ferns. They were more recently added to the housing vendor, but it's a good item if you want, you know, some bushy kind of stuff. This, I believe, is just the blue pod planter, and it's got a bunch of, and they just sunk it down so you don't see the little tray that comes with it. Really handy if you kind of want some extra greenery, but you don't want to have to put down every single piece. There's a taurine sword laying there. Okay, and then of course in the middle, surrounded by all these stones and covered in water, is a little, I don't know what you call it, a lagoon, a little pond, something or other. Lots of little lily pads and the blooming pollen plants, a little bit of overgrowth, some of the teal plants. Even has one of the orange gondolas. And if you're wondering how they've done it so that the ground is lifted up, again, this is probably a combination of snowy hills turned upside down and used in that way. It could be massive umbrella trees as well. I haven't really noticed any limbs sticking out, so I suspect it's probably the snowy hills because, again, those are just cleaner when it comes to leftover bits that you don't want showing. But that's how they're getting the raised ground and then having this little sunken in area, having that effect. Notice the little floaty island above, really nicely done. Again, making sure to add just enough greenery. They're not overdoing it, but there's hints of it everywhere. You got that little drain with the water coming out, and it's also helping to feed this pond area. And their bunker house is located down inside here, so we're going to go visit that first. So you start off in a cage. So you have to turn it off and open it up to get inside the little Elden facility. And you can see I will try to mention some of these things, but I really don't know what all of this is. I know the purple stuff is from the technophage things. These two bits here are the ones that looks like the gas pumps. That's the technophage door. There's a lot of the circuitry trim and everything going on. This red thing here is the Dominion scanner, and then you have the Dominion little control panel thing on top of that. This is one of the tubes. It's actually, if you make it large enough, you can actually walk into the red. I think there's also either a blue or a green version of that, but they're using it to look like some kind of a strange tube with someone in it. This is just one of the Exile notice boards sunk in, so you don't see the Exile bit too much. Yeah, see, these are the technophage hollow stations being used. See how they've just layered it in to get the look that they're aiming for. Yeah, see, here's the green one over here. It works the same way. The one, or the red one, I should. So you got a lot of different little parts here. This is a Osun drum, I think, that's been inset into one of the other technophage doors to kind of make it look like it's a little, I don't know, a portal to someplace. Here's some of the new little panels. a lot of different stuff going on here. Looks nifty though. You know, there was a lot of care taken into how things have been layered. Wow, that's really purple. These bit, I think that's from the technophage emitter. Yeah, looks like the 3 bits. A lot of people like to use those in the discos and bars and things because it kind of has that, you know, lots of flashy light stuff. But there you go. A lot of the new sim chase stuff, it looks like. This big screen here is, of course, the itemization core Y83 portal. It just looks like a purple panel with some gold on it, I think. And they just made it really huge to take up one whole wall. I like how they've added in all of the wires to make it look like it's like feeding whoever might be sitting here in the main chair. Pretty interesting. Again, it's not my skill because electronics and stuff. Anyone that watched me try to put some of that stuff together for like um, Thovain and stuff when I was working on his lab will know I had difficulty with a lot of that. It was just like, what? I don't know what to do with that. So to get to the island above and to one of my favorite parts of this spot, you have to ride the stones. Thankfully, it's somewhat of an easy jumping puzzle. I say that and I'll probably fall here, but yay, I made it. So here you have the little landing pad for their travel vehicle. Even have a little fuel pump for it, so they can come and go as they please. And got little details like the little water pump where they hang their laundry out. And then you have this lovely little home up here on this island thing. Let's get a good shot of that. Just a custom home, combination of Oran floors for most of the wall work, and then trimmed with 2x4s and glass for the windows and such. They're using a Merc banner for the doorway. It's a very handy, kind of dingy looking, but you know, depending on what you're going for, it works well. Uh, nice little bench seating area for the little, like the foyer area. Um, Notice they're using kind of a hover park floor for almost like the entrance rug kind of thing. Here, they've got a manner of different things for wall decorations, not only head statues for like trophies, but large swords, even large signs. Here's a danger sign and stuff. And then they've made some actual display cases. It's using the bottoms of benches, the Dominion bench as the base of the display case, and then 2x4s for the thickness of it for the frame, and then glass panels for the rest. Looks really nice. I think this is like their own ideas of some of the weaponry, because this sword is just a combination of pieces. That's like the datascape windows, a couple of Elden pillars. It looks like a Merg dynamite on the end for the handle. Some kind of, it's a couple other Elden pieces there that I'm not sure about. But it makes a nice funky sword there. And then we've got something similar on this side. They've taken some of the like Draken and broadswords and dressed them up. This one's got Ichthian touches to it. Those are like Ichthian lamps, and actually I think it's a combination of several lamps there that give that a little bit. And then this one's got Marauder type touches to it. I think that's a Marauder drill or something. Give all those different little looks to it. Interesting way of creating your own version of weaponry rather than just the swords, which I like the touch of that. See, it's the sword, and then they've dressed it up to make it look different. The table itself is again some hover part pieces. It almost looks like a sword, kind of all pointy and everything. I like that too. It fits well with this particular room. So then you have a little countertop that leads into the kitchen. And you have a little dining table. It's just made out of a wooden container topped with some travel posters. The refrigerator is a combination of Chua shelves, and then they've made this little glassed off section with the metal grate shelves as the shelves inside. The cabinetry looks to be, it's really hard to see in the lighting. I'm not sure what the cabinets are. The drawers themselves, though, look to be metal edged wood pieces, and then bottle tops for the handles. The top of the countertop is again the travel posters. Those are really nice for kitchen cabinetry to make it look, you know, kind of like a marble top. That's really good. The bubbles in the sink appear to be just a bunch of those tall files that are turned upside down, and you see the bulby blue bottom. The oven here is a combination of, it looks like curved glass, one of the Osun vents for the fiery little pit, and then some of the metal grate shelves to make the whole little back there. The dish rack looks like it's an oran floor with metal edged wood pieces kind of slanted in, and then they've just tucked in the plates and such. I like the grocery bags. It's one way to kind of reuse the Protostar Winterfest stuff, make it grocery bags. They got all their groceries in there. The cabinets above is, of course, the staircase landings, and then the bottle tops for the handles. Trying to make sure I don't miss anything here. Again, if you're wondering where this robot NPC, the Defender construct, that comes from, again, the Sim Chase event that just recently went through. The little bulletin board here is, again, travel posters, the back of that, with just other things stuck on there. Discarded notes, one of the Winterfest posters, and the calendar. Okay, then we come to the living room, and wow, there's a lot of things going on here. They've made their own shelves out of 2x4s, and it looks like Exile floors for the backing of that. Some of it is prefabbed bookshelves that they've tucked in where you don't see all of the extra doodads around it. And then other parts are bits that they filled themselves with other bits. It's a good way to kind of break up the monotony of it rather than having just the same shelf repeated all the way across. They've kind of split it up nicely. It's a good way of filling in the room, but saving yourself some decor space if you can't account for everything. The living room area with the television. The table itself looks like some domes for that. The sectional couch, that thing is huge. Look at that. It's just a combination of Chua pillows and Exile pillars, it looks to be. Simple design, but very effective. And again, we don't see too many of these. We see a lot of versions of two-a-pillow furniture, and I swear every time we come across one, it looks different than everybody else's. I love how, even if you're using the same exact pieces as someone else, it always looks different. And that's what I love about this kind of stuff. I think this is just the Exile screen in combo with one of the new lamps. Kind of a strange little thing. Nice way of showing off the posters, making it wall art kind of thing. I'm not sure why this particular picture is crooked. I don't know if they meant it to be that way, but just something I noticed the last time I was here. Here's the fireplace. Again, it's using that Osun vent, much like they used in the oven, but looks like they've added a small campfire to bring in the flames and to really make it a little bit bolder than if it was without it, and made a nice, interesting looking fireplace. Different than, the traditionals that we usually see. So here we have some little terrarium type of things going on. This one's a little frozen terrarium with little bits of snow and icicles, and then that little frosted flower. Here we have their desk. Notice the little sandwich. Looks like green pillows stuffed between a couple of unburnt toasts. Nice little area for your desk. Got a great view. The bed is a combination of 2x4s, metal edged wood for the drawer, sleeping bags for the bedding part, green pillows, and then this little nice decorative headboard is, I believe it's a couple of the orange shelves, the ones that cost renown off of the vendor. And then it's just added decoration with the Exile walls, kind of make it even more pronounced. This little couch is just made of purple pillows. Some of the long round ones, and then the little short round ones. The combination. Here's a really fancy little cabinet. Again, it's mostly 2x4s and metal edged ones for the drawers. So that's, I guess, the sock drawer, and this is where you put your shirts and stuff. Simple and easy to construct, but it's just those little touches that really go a long way to make a unique little living space. Look, I mean, even the little painting here that they've got of this like little fan kind of thing going on. Rather than sticking with the same color glass, they alternated it. So you've got some red and some green and blue, and it just makes a nice little rainbow fan kind of art effect. Here you have the bathroom. Really lovely little setup with the vanity table here. Staircase landing for the shelves. 2x4s for most of the construction of the thing itself. The window being used for the mirror, and metal edged wood for the drawers. Tops of the bottles for the handles, that kind of thing. For the tub, it's a combo of, looks to be one of the waterfalls. I don't know which one they might have picked. They've got two, one for the big part of the water and one coming out of the little spout here. I think that's just a Chua tank that they're using for that. And then for the tub itself, it's Exile arches and then floors finish it off. I like the bath beads, the little bag of pearls, the bath beads. Oh gosh. It's a really cute little setup. And this Merg banner leads to the little outdoor porch, little covered porch. Notice they got a little telescope here. One of the new, I think it's one of the engine pieces for the little eyepiece there. Tubes and cylinders and domes for most of the telescope itself. Cassian pillars for the legs, and then another engine or antenna piece. It's one of the things from the space chase, I think. It's for that. Who they're spying on, I'm not sure. I guess just the stars, but I don't see the neighbors showing up. And this leads up to the roof, where you have some little serenity kind of, where you come to think and just, relax and be one with nature. Like almost like a little rock garden kind of thing, but they built it up themselves. Again, probably using the snowy hills for both of these little spots so that it mimics the sand down below. And then just use lots of stones. Some of these are the stepping stones you get from Starcom Basin. This is that massive umbrella tree that everybody always uses upside down. You hardly ever see it used like it's meant to be, but that's what it looks like. And they've just kind of shrunk it down quite a bit. Almost looks like a little bonsai of it. Then you have a little bench made of stones and a couple of granite walls. And then they've used one of the long decking pieces for the little bridge across with granite fencing. Repeated the little benches here and over here. And just made some cute little retreat areas where you can come and just sit and be quiet and enjoy it. They've actually worked on this since the last time I was here, because the last time I was here, it was just this one and it didn't have any decoration at all yet. And this one was completely empty. So I can see that they've really been working on this place, which is nice because it shows that, they haven't given up. So that is the Pure Lake by, whoops, walking all over the food there, by Brightness Jasna. I hope I'm saying the last name right. I'm not really sure. But Jasna, one of those. It's a really lovely little home. Like I said, it's not quite what you expect when you're going, walking around down below, because it's all eldony and it looks abandoned and everything. And then you come up here to this nice little custom-built house, and there's a lot of lovely little bits in there. Okay, so the last one for today, or for this week, is I'm gonna mess this up. Immergron. It's a really hard name to say. Eysa, Immergron. And the Groon has got like 2 dots over the U, so it's probably not an U sound, but something else. But anyway, this is called Pilsdorf Oren RP. And from what I understand, Pilsdorf is basically just Mushroom Village. And clearly that fits the theme of the plot because it's definitely full of mushrooms. This was actually brought attention to me by a fellow housing fan that happens to be in the housing circle that I belong to. Which, as a reminder, if you're on Exile side for Jabbit and you're looking for a circle that has housing enthusiasts in it, where maybe you want to just, have a quick brainstorm about something, maybe you can't think of an object that you can use for this or that, you just want some feedback on what you're working on right now, or you just want to talk shop in general, feel free to give me a poke and game, and I'll be happy to invite you to our housing circle. It's called Homeowners Association. It's a small group, but very helpful group. So anyway, just to plug in that. So back to Yesa's house plot. So you have this little village, very cute little dome homes. Again, it's a dome home, but they're different. They more resemble, I guess, little shroom houses. Some of them have been topped with the lamps to give them that added extra little orange touch. And there's lots of hugels everywhere. This one even has a little water area. I thought it was really nice how they managed to get that in and kept it, you know, not too looking too weird. It's sticking out a little bit. You see the line there, but overall it looks really cute. So we're going to just step into this first building here and see what we got. So this appears to be a little plushie shop where you come. Most of the construction of the building itself is Exile curved walls. You can see that they've topped it with a colorful orange window. There's a lot of granite pillars being used for not only the beams of the walls, but also for the framing of the windows, and then 2x4s for the little divider bits. Lots of domes for the stairways into the different sections, and hover part pieces for the shelving and the countertop here. So you can see, I guess it's where they create their little pillows and things. If you're wondering about the floor, inside of the Exile dome, they have an orange dome and then a tabletop. It's the new orange tree table that they're using for decoration there. It's a really pretty table. Okay, so that's shop number 1. Yeah, it's a really cute little house using hollow domes and windows to make that roofing, and then solid domes for the floors. The house number 2 is a little actual house. You've got the kitchen here. And if you're wondering what the stools are, those are the actual red cushion bar stools that are actually pretty tall, and they've just sunk them down to the height that they want. The only difference, really. The construction is pretty much the same as far as the pieces that they've used. They've just changed it up. The other one had a little bit more kind of like a curved stairway, and this one's a little more straightforward. Of course, they've added in a little bathroom, so here's your toilet and then the shower. For an RP plot, this is perfect for folks looking for, you know, a little home that they can claim as their own. So here we have a little gathering place, meeting area, who knows what it might be. But they've lined it all with stools that they've just sunk down into it. Again, it's Exile dome with an orange dome and then the table to give it that little bit of extra. The railing out here is a curved wall, orange curved wall. Next little home building. Notice they keep with the curves and the circles. I think this is a really key element if you're looking for something to be ornate. You want to keep with a lot of the curves. Here they've got this nice little oven set up, and then they've even added these extra little cabinets. Looks like little half moons with looks like 2x4s for the handles. Again, similar construction. It's just different windows that they're using in here. They're using the orange window for the topper. But it's curved walls, granite pillars, 2x4s, different layered domes to give an interesting pattern. Notice, because they're leaving spaces for the windows, they're patching it in with little bits. They've done a really good job of blending it in. It doesn't look forced or anything. Even with using mismatched pieces, it still works for the way they've got it set up. Notice all the little grasses and bits that they've added in. Here's a little garden area. The bridge is mostly 2x4s and then granite pillars for that. So here you have, it looks to be like a little restaurant. You've got some terrace seating out here. A little, maybe this is where they come and do some dancing or something. Again, 2x4s and pillars for the fencing, the railing on this little outcropping. If you're wondering what this is, I think that's the celestial root. Something I've been trying to get a hold of, but they remain pretty expensive, so they're not very common apparently. And looks like a really nice way of doing an arch. So here we go into this little building, and yeah, I was right. It's basically like a bar, restaurant type of thing. Got the little drinks. Again, layered domes for the different pattern on the floor. Those tables, the orange window for up top. And who knows what this might be. Maybe they're working it into a public restroom, a private game hall. Who knows what they're going to add here. It could be any number of things. Maybe that's where the kitchen will be or something. I like how they even added a little foot kind of thing where people can rest their feet. Little things are important. Here's their version of a little wishing well type of deal. It's basically just, if you're wondering what these stones are, those are hugels. I forget which one it is, but it's the really tall one. It's very, not egg-shaped, but close to it. It's one of the more smoother ones. And they're just using that as stones for the trimming of it. Granite pillars for the posts, chain, and the bucket. These pretty pink flowers are the tall finger flowers. It looks like a really skinny tree, and they've just enlarged it and sunk it down, so it looks like little flowers. Here you have a little pumpkin patch. Go inside this one. Here you have another little home. Got some of the grass poking up through the floor. But if you can get past that, it looks pretty good. It looks like something that they're just working on. I imagine that's going to be the sink and everything. Bedroom. And I like how they use this as like maybe it's like a dispenser or a hand dryer or whatever. It's actually the back of the toilet being poked through. Some trees coming in. Creeping in the trees. What's over here? Lots of lovely little bits. Here's a little WildStar group. I guess maybe that's going to end up being a water trough, or maybe they're going to put a hay pile inside there for their food. Got that little gray stone cave as their little pin. That's the back of the restaurant. If there's anything back there. See this one here. Another little house. Looks like a table with a window inset to give it a little bit of touch of wood. Again, similar setup to the other ones, but always slightly different, which is nice if you want to kind of, you know, this one's using a pink window instead of the other orange or the colorful. Let's see. Lots of little houses. There's a little dock for a gondola that would travel. I like how they're using the mushrooms, all kind of part of the scenery. Lots of hugels as those stones there. They really liked the color of the stones. What else? Looks like they've got a little covered glass for the dome there. I mean, for the garden. Open up. Growing some shrooms. Notice they've put some round bits to kind of make it look like they're really working on it. Now I see the hatch house there. We're going to keep going around. Notice they've managed to incorporate some of the other fab kits, not just the garden, but here's the little hot springs, and it's being fed by the water from the little lake here, stream. This is where we met. So here we're going to go up this little tunnel bit. Oh yeah, this is a nice part. This is a little higher up in the tree, so you've got this water business going on, and you see it's just continual. It's feeding the little stream down below, and the little stream feeds another part of the area. Lots of domes for this, make this little patterned porch area. Lots of hugels, lots of hover part pieces, curved walls, domes, and you've got this really lovely little house up here. It's like the main home. So this couch here is made a combination of pillows and stools and hover part pieces. This kitchen cabinetry is even got working cabinet doors there. Some staircase landing shelves there. Granite walls, not only here, but it helps tie it in. See how they've used this as patching for the window gap there, and they've just added it in, and it helps tie that rim together. More shelves here under the sink business, so you can even see the little tubes there. Lots of shelving for the kitchen. Back into the living room, you have not only a pre-made bookshelf, but they've made their own shelf here as well. And it fits kind of in. It just kind of blends in nicely. Fireplace. It's got one of the new Winterfest fence pieces with, I think that's a falcon fire pit, and then hugels to kind of flesh out that whole bit that they've got going on for the fireplace. Again, just sticking with that curved bit with the domes. So here you have that waterfall coming out. Got the little drain even showing that that's where it comes through. So here's like the dining room. Very bright in here. Leads out to a little balcony terrace kind of thing, and they even have this cute little bed nook that's built in. Again, that's just that oran tree table, and then hover part pieces to make this little tube kind of seating, and then an oran bed tucked in. So you can't see the little extra bits. It's just the cushion, the blanket and everything. Nice, cozy little idea. And if I remember correctly, they repeat it elsewhere. So then you go up way. Yeah, here's like the upper floor where they've got the water continuing on, and then you have this other little nook, and it's more like a little seating place where they come and smoke and enjoy and relax. And then another little, like a little seating area. Maybe they're going to add some cushions, some books, display their plushie collection, who knows. It's a really interesting little construction, how they've got this set up. Here's the, I guess it's like a home office space. And then you have this little hallway that leads into these extra bedrooms. So again, here's the repetition of the little bed hole. I don't know what you call that. A little nook, bed nook. We'll call it the bed. Again, got some nice little lovely views. The little vanity mirror here is just the back side of a Google portrait. Oh, been sitting here too long. My back's starting to hurt. Here's the bathroom. Again, hover part pieces, winding rivers for the water, and looks like a really small blue flare that's giving that little bit of smoke, kind of make it look steamy. The chandelier is just an upside down heart collection table lamp. I'm not sure why there's two doors to that. I guess in case you don't want to go to the bedroom, intrude on their privacy, you can come straight to the bathroom. There you go. I think that's all of it. But really took a lot of time to come in and figure out how you're going to put all this together. There was a lot of thought that went into the construction of this main house here. Okay, so I think we got everything on the outside. Let's go into the interior of the bunker house, if I can find it again. Where was that thing? It's in an open space. Oh, back here, yes. So they didn't bother hiding the bunker house, which is perfectly fine and probably best if you don't want anyone to miss what you've put in there. Like mine's kind of hidden beneath a water fountain, so unless someone actually goes walking off in it, they won't notice it. But this is the bunker house for the Mushroom Village. You start off and you get this chilly feeling that you're in an ice cave. You've got all these little snow clumps making this little snow path here. Lots of probably a combination of glaciers and icicles. You've got the buoyant blue crystal bouncing around there. Even some waterfalls. Lots of glowing space wheat, and of course the blue mushrooms to kind of tie it off. Lots of blue, lots of white, very interesting little bit. Here you have a little window that kind of gives you a clue that there's more to what you see right here. So if you follow a little path, leads you to this little extra little oriny kind of house. Again, they're repeating the little comfortable bed nook. This time they chose to use the comfortable Dominion beds. I think it's 2 of them kind of sandwiched together, and then maybe a third to make that, give it that curved look, like it's actually sitting there, meant to be like that. Again, using the granite doors for a working cabinet there. The fireplace, again, it looks like some combination of leaf windows for the back and for the floor. The falcon fire pit for the fire. Googles on either side. Again, the leaf window for the top as well. And then the Winterfest fence piece for the little railing there. Very lovely little home. I like a lot of the ideas that they've put together in here. And it's an interesting approach to this little deal as well. Up here. You have a little hidey hole if you want to hide from your friends. Like I said, a lot of crystals, a lot of icicles, a lot of glacier bits. It's a very cute little home. Anyway, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's house tours. I hope to have a new selection for you next week. Fingers crossed it'll be Dominion side, but if I can't find enough Dominion, or if any at all, then we will just stick with the Exile side, because there's always a surplus of those. But definitely enjoyed showing them off to you. We had a pretty big variety, you know, from Orany stuff to Star Wars to, you know, Elden. There was a pretty big span of ideas there. Again, just a very quick reminder, I'm not going to do this every week. I just want to mention it today before I forget and lose my nerve about, you know, setting it up. In a few months, we will be celebrating our 50th house tours video. And like I said, I'd like to make it a little bit special, so I'm looking for some help from my viewers to suggest homes that we have toured in the past that they would like to see retoured, you know, like your favorite house that we've toured in the past, the one that really inspired you the most. You know, maybe it was the one that got you into housing in the first place, that kind of thing. As long as that house is still in existence, I would be very happy to hear about it. And the top 5 of everybody's suggestions will be retoured on the 50th episode. We'll also be doing some giveaways on that day. I am not going to give any details at the moment. We'll get into that a bit more as we get closer and closer to that time period. I figure probably a month before I will make an official announcement about it and what all everybody can do, but to participate in everything. But yeah, I just want to give my viewers a bit of a good, well in advance heads up about my plans to try and make the 50th a little bit extra special. Like I said, we've actually done tons more videos than that, but just for those pertaining to houses, it's going to be a pretty big thing. Because if you think about it, I think even right now at this point in time, I've already toured like over 140 homes. That's a huge number of places to go visit. So yeah, out of 140 homes to try and pick, our favorite five, that's going to be tough. That's one of the reasons why I'm asking my viewers to kind of help me out with that, to say, okay, are there any that really stood out that you always kind of think back on, time and time again for different, reasons? Maybe it was of a particular, maybe the one that looks like the Mario Brothers game. That one comes to mind to a lot of people. Maybe that one will stick out. Or maybe it was, um, one that was done for a holiday event, or something like that. But any help in kind of narrowing down that, by the time we get to the 50th, we will have probably toured closer to, um, uh, I don't know, 160, 150 homes, so it's going to be kind of tough to narrow it down to just a few, and I really appreciate the help and suggestions. So if you have uh, some homes that you recall that we visited in the past, they still exist, and you'd like to see us retour them again, just drop me a line either on Twitch, Twitter, in the forums, in game, however you want to get in contact with me. I'm pretty reachable in most ways. Just let me know. And like I said, probably about a month before, I will make an official announcement of all of the things that the special celebration will entail, and kind of broaden the field that people will be made aware of it. Yeah, looking kind of forward to it. I'm a little nervous about it because, I don't really promote my channel too much. I kind of rely on folks just kind of spreading the word on themselves. If they like it, maybe they'll mention it to someone else. But, I do tweet about it now and then, but a lot of times I forget. Like, I think I forgot today, so that's a good example. So, but yeah. It's one of those things that I want to share, make it special, especially for my viewers. So I'm hoping to have some really nice things to be able to offer as possible gifts. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed all of the lovely homes that we got to visit today. It's always great to give appreciation to those that put so much effort into their plots, especially those that really don't advertise themselves. We have those that post regularly in the forums and tweet their pictures and stuff like that, but there's a lot of homes that don't get as much attention simply because, they build it out of love for the game or love for the role playing and all that kind of stuff, and they're just doing it for their friends and for themselves. And this is my way of kind of showcasing them in a way that they normally wouldn't be. So anyway, I hope you liked it, enjoyed it, and I hope it inspired somebody to build something for themselves. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.